alongside the former national champion. I am merely Spencer Linton. And joining us now over Zoom is BYU basketball assistant coach Chris Burgess to discuss transfer portal, name, image, likeness, the status of BYU basketball right now, and much more. Chris, great to have you back on the show. How are you?
I'm doing great. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Well, you're looking fresh. You're looking rested. I'm hoping that's a good sign that things are going well with recruiting and the offseason. What's the latest update with the recruiting situation BYU basketball?
Well, it's been a fun off season in the sense where things feeling back to normal, starting with camp, we were able to get back on the road with some high school recruiting the last 2 weeks. And then these next 3 weeks, we're going to be able to get back on the road, looking at, 2022s, 2023s, 2024s. As far as recruiting, kind of finishing and finalizing this roster, we're being super picky. We love what we have right now. We really do. We like the pieces that are coming back. And we like the couple pieces that we've added in Tijon and then, our return missionaries. Excited about Trey and Nate and those guys. And so, we're being super picky with our last scholarship and want to find a player that's obviously going to help us win, but also understand what BYU is all about, what our locker room is all about, and someone that can come in and kind of take us to the next level. Because again, we really like the roster we have right now.
Well, you did get one from the transfer portal. And you mentioned you're looking for maybe that last piece. Is there a chance that you find another in the transfer portal here before it's all said and done?
I think there is. We're actively recruiting a couple kids right now. I think there is. There's a chance. It just depends on a couple things. But if we add one more, it's going to be the right guy. Right, we're not going to just take someone to fill a last spot. That's not what we're going to do. We're going to take someone because it works. They want to be here, and we want them here. But there's also a chance that we leave it open. To be honest with you, there's a couple things in play. But again, I'm going to go back to we're being super picky about it. We just are. We feel good with what we have.
Chris Burgess, BYU basketball assistant coach on BYU Sports Nation. Okay, I mentioned name, image, and likeness. I know it's only been a week. But how do you see the NIL impact overall affecting not just BYU basketball, but athletics at BYU specifically?
This is first of all, the NIL is something that, I'm sure there's people who are for it, people who are against it. But just like anything with coaching and college sports, you have to adapt. You got to accept it. You got to learn, and you got to be great at it. Right, you got to be great at helping your players understand what the NIL is all about, educating them. And so our job the last couple of weeks, right, has been helping them have a plan, right, and teaching our guys prioritize the most important things, right, when it comes to who you are and what you represent. And that's still academics, that's still basketball or athletics, right? The student athlete is still a huge importance piece to this NIL. And then winning, right? People who want you to represent, use your name, image, likeness, they want players that win and are part of a winning team. That's really important. So we're trying to educate our guys there. We're trying to help them learn how to be marketable, how to be smart and use social media to build your brand, right? And to be consistent and be active and post the right things. And so we're constantly educating our guys. But listen, BYU, as everyone knows, this valley, right, is the number one growing business economy in the state, in the country. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So we're gonna utilize our players are gonna utilize that to their advantage, right? And we're looking to get them to utilize that both on and off the court. And so again, I say all that, but we want to make sure we keep the focus still on the student athlete and winning here at BYU. And if we do that, right, and if they do that, then good things will happen with this name, image, and likeness.
Chris, we were talking to Jimmer last week, and we said to Jimmer, can you imagine when you were here? And he just shook his head, and I think I saw a tear come out of his eye because he realized when you came out, and we all remember it well, you were a huge, huge name. can you even wrap your head around what it would have been like for you to have this NIL legislation in place when you were playing?
I'm telling you, I haven't gone there. But listen, I can talk about Jimmer because what he did for college basketball, BYU. I mean, I was actually playing at the time in Poland, in a city called, I was in Zielonogora, Poland. And my teammates they only follow the NBA, knew who Jimmer was and what he was about.
Wow.
Right? Like he was that big. And so, but again, he represented BYU. He won, right? He was a student first. He was a big time athlete, and he did things the right way. So how marketable, like he would have been able to take advantage of the NIL. And that's what we're trying to educate our guys about, right? Like you have to do those things. And he did that too. I think you guys would all agree, right? He did that better than anybody. In the last 10, 12, 15 years, right? He was such a great example of that. So I'd like to think that I was not in the realm of Jimmer Fredette, but I'd like to think that my team's always won, right? I was always part of 4 championship teams, a national championship or national runner-up team, 2 ACC championship teams. So I'd like to think that I represented myself in the right way and went about my business as a hard worker and kind of a role player on my teams, and my teams won. So, if I take care of those, and we're preaching to our guys that that's how you get name, image, and like this, in your pockets. I'd like to think that I would have made a little bit, but that's as far as my brain has gone.
Hey, I love that you're teaching the guys that what goes into being marketable, right? And all those things that are really important to being a good person and a good player and contributing to university also are going to contribute to their success there. That's a great angle for you guys to take. I appreciate that. So I wanted to ask you about a guy that I feel like embodies all of that you're talking about, Alex Barcello. Maybe the best recruiting job you guys may have done to get him to come back. What was that conversation like with Alex, and what is this going to mean to this year's team to have him back as a leader?
Well, the conversations with Alex was to, there was some unfinished business, right, with, how things ended. It was a great 2021 season for him personally, but also for us collectively, right? And so the conversation was this NIL might go through, and there's an opportunity, because listen, Alex had the opportunity to go be a pro somewhere in the world, right? Whether here in the States or, overseas and so there was some money on the table. And so we were trying to educate him with, what it might be potentially like with COVID still going on and a pandemic in areas overseas where, let's face it, the vaccine isn't rolling out over there as it is here. Right. And so, teams understand overseas, understand COVID, they understand what to expect, but that doesn't mean, their resources and the money and the financial situation is the same. And so the conversation was, hey, listen, you are the face, of BYU, right? We're a winning team, but you are the face of it. And people love winners. People love great ambassadors to this university. And he's going to have a huge opportunity, to represent us in an era, right, that we've never seen before. And he really bought in there. And at the end of the day, like, Alex loves this place. Like, he loves this place. His sister is a freshman on the women's team. Like, he loves this place. He loves, his teammates. He loves the fans. And he wasn't embraced by the fans live last year because of lack of, we couldn't have anyone in the gym, right? And so he wanted to run it back because he wanted to do something we haven't done, which is win a WCC championship. And he wants to make a run in the NCAA. He wants to get back to the NCAA tournament. He wants to make a run. And all the NIL stuff is just kind of the cherry on top for him. But he came back to this place because he loves this place and he wants to win and he wants to go down, as a BYU great. And we feel like, we have the opportunity to put him in that position with a good team, a really good team around him.
Chris Burgess on BYU Sports Nation. It's no secret that Mark Pope, you and the staff have had great success finding elite-level talent in the transfer portal. Alex Barcello being one of those. Matt Harms, Brandon Averett, T. John Lucas looks the part. So what's the recruiting pitch to guys in the transfer portal, and how does it differentiate from your recruiting pitch to guys coming out of high school? Or is it the same?
Yeah, it's a little different because high school kids, let me tell you, the guys who transfer, whether after their first, second years, their priorities are different. They look at the college basketball in a different sense because they understand what's really important, right? They've done college basketball, right? Or 2 years. They've been around they've been around the block. So the recruiting is like, we always still touch about winning. We always talk about winning, right? Coach Pope, guys, he's won. He won as a player. Everyone knows that. He won a national championship, right? He won in the NBA. He's done things that people tell him he couldn't do, which is played 9 years in the league. He's won as a coach. I was with him for 4 years at Utah Valley. We won there, right? And he's won his 2 years here at BYU. So we talk about winning. We talk about this locker room and how special it is, and how when guys sacrifice for the greater good, right, and they put away their personal agendas, great things happen, right? And that's a battle, you know, players fight every single day. And when you add NIL, it's going to be a different battle every day. They're going to fight that. So we talk about our locker room. We talk about the resources we have here. Obviously, like the Marriott Center. I mean, come on, it's 20,000 people. Our fan base, how we travel and how we take care of our guys. Our non-conference schedule. Going to the Diamond Head this year. And, we went to Maui 2 years ago. We were scheduled for the Bahamas last year, right? And we're going to play Pac-12 teams, and we're going to play really good Mountain West teams. We're going to put together a big-time non-conference schedule. And then the WCC sells itself. Like, it has the #1 team in the nation, for the second year in a row in the Zags, and you get an opportunity to play them 2-3 times. And St. Mary's and LMU's coming, and we sell how good this conference is and how it's, we talk about BYU TV, right? We talk about that. We recruit a lot of international kids, right? They have families that are able to download this app and watch it from their home or stream it live or download from the archive. We talk about that. And of course, we talk about our fan base. We talk about the Houston story. We beat them 2 years ago, how, that place was sold out. And after we beat them with TJ Haas's buzzer beater, we walk out of the locker room 15 minutes later, and there's 500 BYU fans in that arena, right? And I think it was the BYU Texas alumni chapter. And we talk about that. We talk about how we go to LMU and we go to Pepperdine and we go to these places. And guess what? It's a home game in terms of our fans, in terms of the color, the royal blue or the navy blue out there. So those are things we touch on with everybody. When we talk about being a pro, right? We have 2 pros on our coaching staff that played, a total of 20 years, between Coach Pope, 9 years in the league, and myself, 11 years overseas. And we talk about, Coach Robinson, the career he had, and Coach Figure, the coaches that he's coached under, Rick Majerus and Stu Morrill and Dave Rose, right? And so we talk about all those things. And of course, we talk about our players, right? The roster we have coming back and how, we think we're a top 25 team, and but we're trying to get to the top 10. Like we are. We're trying to get to the top 10, and we want to get there. And so we talk about all those things, and you guys know better than anyone, Coach Pope's as good as it comes. And taking all those things we talked about and putting in that kid and those parents' heads. And just high school kids just look at the game a little bit differently from a recruiting standpoint, because they don't know it. I didn't know what to expect as a 17-year-old kid. I didn't know it was important. Things prioritize what becomes important and less important change when you're Alex Barcello, which is a junior in college as opposed to a senior in high school. Your priorities change. And so depending on what the kid's at, where he is in his life and how basketball's going for him, we recruit to, we cater to that, right? We cater to that. But those main things always stay the same and consistent.
Fantastic stuff. Your insight is always appreciated. For the record, both Blaine and I are ready to sign on the dotted line right now.
I'm coming.
Just give us the paperwork. We're ready to go.
So, and I think Spencer and I
check your amateurism with Chad. We'll get back to you.
Where Spencer and I are missing, like, you want top 10, you need these 2 right here. This backcourt right here could get it done. So no, we're excited, and we're grateful you spent some time with us today. And man, we've got the vision. You sold it to us. So let's go out there and get one more. It sounds like you guys need one more to fill out this roster. We wish you the best of luck.
We appreciate it. And again, thanks for having me on. One day I'm going to get back in this studio, so I can re-sign that flag.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, you guys.
BYU basketball assistant coach Chris Burgess on BYU Sports Nation. A lot of insight right there.
Some good stuff right there. Yeah. So